Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have to admit, the moment I saw Britt's latest storyline begin to unfold, I immediately felt that familiar sense of worry that General Hospital has given me so many times over the years. Sometimes a character returns with a clear purpose and a fresh start ahead of them, but this situation feels completely different. From where I am sitting, Britt is walking straight into a storm that could change every part of her life. Between the secrets she has been carrying, the enemies she has made, and the health concerns that are beginning to surface, I honestly do not see an easy path forward for her. What makes this story so compelling is that trouble seems to be waiting for Britt from every direction. She is still dealing with the fallout from working for Cullum and protecting Cassius's secrets. Those decisions may have seemed necessary at the time, but as we all know, nothing stays buried forever in Port Charles. The truth always finds its way into the light. On top of that, her relationship with Liesl appears to be under tremendous strain. Any longtime viewer knows that Liesl loves her daughter fiercely, but she can also be incredibly harsh when she feels betrayed. I have a feeling their next reunion will be emotional, painful, and perhaps even explosive. Then there is the issue of Anna returning to her position as police commissioner. The minute I heard that detail, I started thinking about what it means for Britt. Anna is not the kind of person who ignores suspicious behavior. She asks questions, follows evidence, and pushes until she gets answers. Even if Britt was manipulated or pressured into doing things she never wanted to do, she may still have to answer for those actions. That possibility alone would be enough to keep anyone awake at night. Still, as serious as the legal problems may be, I find myself much more concerned about Britt's physical condition. The scenes in Tortola told me far more than any investigation or interrogation ever could. Watching Britt and Rocco together created a calm atmosphere at first, almost as if they were trying to escape the chaos waiting for them back home. Rocco reassured Britt that he did not regret coming with her, and I thought that was a touching moment. He was trying to be brave and supportive, even though it was obvious he missed his family and his life in Port Charles. What impressed me was that Britt noticed those feelings immediately. She understood that Rocco was struggling even if he did not want to admit it. That is why she gave him the tablet with a VPN and encouraged him to look up news from home. To me, that moment showed the side of Britt that people sometimes forget. Beneath all the mistakes, all the questionable decisions, and all the trouble she has caused over the years, there is still someone who genuinely cares about the people around her. For a brief moment, it seemed as though things might actually improve. When Rocco found the news about Lucas surviving Sidwell's attack, Britt appeared genuinely relieved. I paid close attention to that reaction because it revealed something important about her state of mind. Despite everything she has been through, she still worries about people she loves. There was real emotion in that moment, and for a few seconds it felt like a small ray of hope in an otherwise dark story. Unfortunately, that hopeful feeling disappeared almost immediately when Britt's hand began trembling again. Now, this is where my concern really started growing. Soap operas do not repeatedly focus on symptoms like that unless they are building towards something significant. The writers want viewers to notice it. They want us to understand that something is wrong. Britt clearly knows it too, because she worked very hard to hide the tremors from Rocco. What struck me most was how determined she seemed to pretend everything was normal. Instead of admitting she felt weak or frightened, she encouraged Rocco to go get ready for their next outing. It was as if she believed she could push through whatever was happening simply by refusing to acknowledge it. I have seen people do that in real life, and it rarely ends well. Sometimes the things we refuse to face become the very things that eventually overwhelm us. That is why the next scene hit me so hard. When Rocco returned and discovered Britt unconscious on the floor, it completely changed the tone of the story. Suddenly, this was no longer about a minor symptom or a temporary problem. This was something serious. Seeing Britt collapse like that made me wonder just how long she has been hiding these symptoms and how much worse her condition might actually be. What worries me even more is what happened after she regained consciousness. Most people would immediately seek medical attention after collapsing. Britt did the exact opposite. She refused to call a doctor. She refused to get help. She insisted she only needed rest and asked Rocco to help her onto the sofa. The more I think about that decision, the more convinced I become that Britt already suspects something is terribly wrong. Sometimes fear does not make people run toward answers. Sometimes it makes them run away from them. That brings me to the shocking news Lucas is expected to deliver. I cannot help wondering if the two storylines are connected. The timing feels too perfect to be accidental. Britt's worsening symptoms, her collapse, and the possibility of devastating information coming from Lucas all seem to be moving toward the same destination. If there is a major medical revelation on the horizon, I would not be surprised at all. As all of this unfolds, I keep finding myself thinking about Jason Morgan. Maybe it is because Britt appears more vulnerable now than she has in years. Maybe it is because she seems completely isolated. Or maybe it is because Jason has a history of showing up when people need him most. Whatever the reason, I cannot shake the feeling that his return could become a crucial part of Britt's future story. The timing certainly feels interesting. Britt may soon be dealing with health issues, legal troubles, family conflicts, and emotional heartbreak all at once. That is a tremendous burden for anyone to carry alone. If Jason does return to her orbit, I can easily imagine him becoming the one person she feels safe enough to trust. Many fans have never completely let go of the connection between those two characters, and I suspect the writers know exactly how much interest still exists there. At the same time, there are rumors swirling around the Cassadine family, Laura's trip to Ireland, the possibility of Ace returning home, and ongoing speculation about Nicholas all create the sense that a larger story is beginning to take shape. I would not be surprised if Britt finds herself pulled directly into the middle of those developments. The Cassadines have a way of turning every situation into something bigger, more dangerous, and more unpredictable than anyone expects. Looking at everything together, I honestly believe Britt has become one of the most important characters on the canvas right now. Her story touches nearly every major plotline that is developing. She is connected to the medical mystery, the criminal investigation, the Cassadine drama, and potentially a major romantic storyline as well. That is not something writers do by accident. When a character is placed at the center of so many moving pieces, it usually means something huge is coming. And if you ask me, the biggest chapters of Britt's story may still be ahead of her. Right now, she is hiding secrets, hiding symptoms, and hiding fears that she does not want anyone else to see. But in Port Charles, secrets never stay hidden forever. Eventually, the truth comes out, and when it does, it often changes everything. That is exactly why I cannot wait to see what happens next. As I look at everything happening right now, I keep coming back to one thought. Britt may believe she can handle all of this on her own, but the cracks are beginning to show. Her health is clearly deteriorating, the walls are closing in around her secrets, and difficult questions are waiting for her back in Port Charles. The longer she tries to carry these burdens by herself, the harder the eventual fall could be. What makes this storyline so compelling for me is that it is not simply about a medical crisis or a criminal investigation. It is about a woman who has spent years fighting, surviving, and reinventing herself, only to find herself facing perhaps her most personal battle yet. Whether the shocking news from Lucas changes her future, whether Anna decides to pursue charges, or whether the Cassadine drama pulls her into another dangerous chapter, one thing feels certain. Britt's life is about to change in ways she never expected. And then there is the possibility of Jason's return. Maybe that is wishful thinking on my part, but I cannot ignore how perfectly the pieces seem to be lining up. If Britt is truly heading toward her darkest moment, she may need someone who understands loss, loyalty, and second chances better than anyone else. Sometimes, when life knocks a person down, the most important thing is having someone willing to stand beside them when everyone else walks away. For now, all I can do is watch and wait. But if years of watching General Hospital have taught me anything, it is that the quiet moments before a storm are often the most important ones. Britt may be sitting on that sofa trying to convince Rocco and herself that everything will be okay, but I have a feeling the real story is only just beginning. And when the truth finally comes out, it could send shockwaves through Port Charles and change the future of several lives at once.